I love talking to this dude. Every time I speak to him, it's a little bit warmer. You know, if I see him on television, it is a place that feels better when he gets there. Keegan-Michael Key has a cool energy about him. He's got Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation, is in theaters July 13th, and we will talk about that. But Keegan-Michael Key, are you as obsessed, and thank you for joining us, with I just can't believe that Predator means to you what it means to me. That the whole absurdity of that movie, if I could just spend this entire segment talking Predator with you, it would be a career achievement.
A career achievement? Oh, that's so sweet of you to say, Dan. Yeah, I could talk to you every day for every single segment for a week about Predator.
Let's do it.
And Predator and all of its installments. All the Alien versus Predators, the Predator's last movie, Predator 2, the crazy drug-fueled Danny Glover movie. I could talk to you about all of the Predators.
Keegan,
I'm a big fan.
Well, can we please figure out a way to do this then? I would like to now hire him and just do the interview process for getting this big Hollywood star to come on with us and talk about Predator, because I'm not kidding you, I could do weekly updates on this.
We know.
From every angle. So let's figure out how to do this.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Yeah, maybe I should just do the show once a week, every week until Predator comes out, and then we'll do a post-mortem after it comes out in September. Then we can just talk about it every day after it. I would like to. Hey, we start our own podcast. We'll get it worked out.
We're going to figure this out because I need to figure this out.
All right.
But who was your favorite of the mercenaries? You can only pick one.
If I can only pick one, my favorite of the mercenaries is and I'm not saying this just because he directed this new Predator movie, but my favorite person was Shane Black. Was Shane Black, who's the first one to die, the guy with the big glasses. So Shane Black, who wrote this movie and directed this movie, also of Lethal Weapon fame. He wrote Lethal Weapon. He wrote The Last Boy Scout. He wrote Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I love in the beginning when he's reading the comic books and he tells the jokes. He's my favorite guy. He's also the first one to die. So he, you kind of long for him for the rest of the movie. I never understood the relationship between Carl Weathers and there was something about the relationship between Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger that was always fascinating to me. But he doesn't count as a mercenary, right? So you can't. Carl Weathers might have been one of my favorite characters in the movie, but you can't count him because he wasn't in that group.
Okay, now we need to analyze. And
that was a great breakdown.
Well, no, I'm telling you, I cannot get enough of this. But when you mention Carl Weathers,
right.
There is one scene in that movie I think that comes to mind. If you've got two, they're both involving his arm. But the one I'm thinking of, yes, the one so there are two scenes in the movie involving Carl Weathers. One is the way that he shakes hands with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but the other one, and spoiler alert, is when he gets his arm chopped off and it continues to fire the machine gun. Please give us your best minute on that.
That's the best. My favorite. My brother and I, for years and years, whenever we were apart from each other, I'd be at school. Whenever we saw each other again, when I go home to Detroit, we always go Dylan and do the thing with the arms every single time because it's one of those great. Here's the thing I love about '80s movies in general, but definitely Predator. First of all, I know that the correct answer to your first question is supposed to be Jesse the Body Ventura, but I always want to buck the trend. Always want to buck the trend. I'm going to pick. In fact, I go Shane Black and Bill Duke over Jesse Ventura.
What?
Yeah,
Whoa!
I just said it.
What?
Just said it,
You
Dan.
did.
So let's talk about that for 5 more minutes. Bill Duke has a hell of an acting turn in this movie because he goes crazy at the end of the movie, and his performance. It gets so nihilistic and dark at the end when he starts losing his mind, and you can barely see him in the dark.
Hold on. You'll appreciate this. Hold on.
Anytime.
Anytime. Yeah, and I love when he in the beginning of the movie when he breaks the razor on his face, he's like shaving and the blood comes, because he's dry shaving because he's so tough, he's so cool. But I'm sorry, the thing about '80s movies that I love so much, especially Predator, is there's no irony in those movies. You know how in the turn of this, like when we started the 21st century, and like even in the late 90s, people started winking at the tropes in the action movies, and nobody did that. Remember Commando? Commando is like the schlockiest, campiest movie of that genre. But Predator is so sincere and so stark it's part of why I love it, because they're never making fun of themselves as these huge meatheads. Since we're talking about Hunter Strickland earlier, in this meathead world, you know what I mean? They were playing it to the nth degree. It was that kind of like when men were men type of situation, and there's no winking at all. And that's part of why I like the movie so much.
All right, I don't know what are you on a tour? Because I can't talk to you enough about this. He's got Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation. It's in theaters July 13th.
I think he's talking to us again tomorrow.
I just can't talk to him enough.
I'm calling in. Yeah, I'm flying tomorrow, but I'm going to call you from the plane, and we're going to work this out.
But because I've got so many questions. Did you realize that like Van Damme was the original Predator? That you know these stories of Van Damme wanted to do a lot of kicks. Oh, you know this story.
I know the story about him wanting to do the kicks, and I know the story about him being the original Predator. Then something happened that I'm missing because I'm trying to. There's another tidbit, right, Dan, to the story that he was originally in the costume. He wanted to do the kicks, and then something else happened. Or did he? He got
fired unrepentantly by somebody who said, "No, but the character Predator, this is how I see him," and he's like, "All right, you're fired." The director just said, "Okay, you're fired. I'll get a new Predator." He's not. That's
right. He opened it. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm excited.
Oh, and he said, "Kiss my testicles," and walked off. That was another detail. Yeah, that was another one of the details.
Now that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. That part I did not know. The other thing, if I may, about Shane Black that you may not know. So Shane Black's the first person to die in the first movie. They hang him up. Remember, the Predator hangs him up and trusses him up in the trees, right? And all the crows, the ravens are around the body. So that body cast, they use that body cast again in Predator 2 when Danny Glover's running through the warehouse and there's all the chains hanging from the warehouse.
Predator 2 was so bad. Keegan-Michael.
I can't believe you sat through that, man.
Keegan-Michael, Predator 2 was so bad.
But Dan, I agree. I'm just giving you a small tidbit of trivia about how do you understand? In 1988 or 1991, when I saw that movie, I guess I was 19 or 18 when I saw that movie. So my tastes certainly were different. I'm going to sit here on national radio, and admit that I didn't know it was bad at the time. But it's one.
Let's look back on it now as grown-ups, though, because you enjoy this reminiscing so much. Let's think about this now that you've actually been through the Hollywood machine and can laugh at some of this crud that's all around it. This is actually what happened. Yeah. Predator's hot. L.A. riots are hot. Let's put them together. Boom. Movie magic, baby.
Oh, and also, let's not forget Jamaicans. Jamaicans were also hot at the time.
Yes, dangerous Jamaicans. They were in Bad Boys. They were in one of the Bad Boys. Shannon Briggs was in one of them.
Yep. And remember the clothes. Remember the clothes in Predator 2?
We can't. Hold on. We can't get Arnold. How do we do Predator 2? I know, Danny Glover. Let's send him into the LA riots. All right.
Was it Danny Glover and Ruben Blades? Ruben Blades. Let's get those guys.
All right, once a week until September, okay? We'll sell Hotel Transylvania 3 for you, Summer Vacation, theater, July 13th. But we need to do this every week until the movie comes out.
Morton Downey Jr. was in Predator 2.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, who was?
Morton Downey Jr. Tony Pope.
Morton Downey Jr. Yes, that's right, Morton Downey Jr. and Maria Conchita Alonso.
Hold on. We got one more thing to say to you. Just on the way out the door, we want you to feel it in your bones.
You can join us anytime.
Yes. You can join us.
For tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. See you later.
For tomorrow. All right.
I ain't got time to bleed.
They're calls from the plane.
Mike, take the battleship and move it in another direction. We spend the next 6 weeks taking this marching band to nowhere to see the next Predator movie.
Yeah.
That's where we go. Everyone back away, because that guy's coming with us. That guy's coming with us wherever this boat sails. It'll probably sail into a rock, but Predator, build up. Put Disney behind it. Let's get behind that guy's movie.